Alright, hello everybody, hello, and welcome to the stream. Today is October 10th, 2020. My name is Dr. Fish, and welcome to the first ever Wave Race 64 official rankings. So what makes this one more official than all the ones that have been done in the past? Well, we decided after... Our Shibbypod decided after the July rankings that we were going to have a panel, and so we have now created a panel, panel of people you see below me right here. Yeah, that's where it is. And we have, the panel is Andypanther, As Money, myself, Dr. Fish, MyOhMyPancakes, and Shibbypod. So we have a 5-person panel. We voted on every single part of the rankings, and we decided, and the list that you will see is the list that we have come up with. And so, let's see, where should we start? I'd say we should start with the Tier 2 honorable mentions to get right into it. Alright. I'm throwing this machine select music for this one, and we've got our Tier 2 honorable mentions in alphabetical order. Baba Kanoosh, Bunta. We have a newcomer. We have Ryan Warner Codes and Zuby Doo on this list. These players are either rising players or players who have either not a full timesheet but have some pretty good times and are active. And we have Bunta, who has a full timesheet but just has not been very active lately. And what's going on, Andypanther? Hope you're doing well today. So let me just run down some of each of these players' times and accomplishments that they have. Baba Kanoosh, one of our community moderators. He is especially good at Sunny Beach with a I believe he's just out of the top 10 now, but I will check that really fast. Yeah, Baba Kanoosh is currently sitting with a 103.776 in 11th place, so Baba Kanoosh doing well for himself. Next up we have Bunta, who has an overall pretty good timesheet. He just hasn't played much, but we're hoping to see a return from Bunta once he has things set up and he is all ready to come back and play. Then we have our newest player to the community. We have Ryan Warner Codes, who has some pretty good times to start. He has a 104 on Sunny Beach, and he just recently got a 113 on Drake Lake with the 113.999, shibbying the 113 on Drake Lake. And yeah, Andy, I think we all wish we could be a little bit better at Sunny Beach ourselves. It's a tough course, very tough course. But you see Ryan giving a shot at a bunch of other courses, came in during Olympics and put up some really nice times. And lastly on our list here we have Zuby, who I think is the most likely of the Tier 2s to move up into Tier 1 in the future. A variety of very strong standard times on almost every single course. With a couple of exceptions being the 117 on Glacier Coast, with the benchmark being 115 is very good. So having a very low 117 is nothing to worry about. Just keep doing your thing. We have a couple of top 10 times from Zuby as well, and there's top 10 scattered throughout, top 10's benchmark scattered throughout Tier 2. So yeah, there's our Tier 2 honorable mentions. Congratulations to each and every one of you. Hoping to see you all come back and throw some times and make a bid for Tier 1 in the future. Alright. So let's see. Do I go and do a couple of... Do I go right into the top 10 here and maybe save some honorable mentions? Because there's some very close calls here. Or do I go right into the Tier 1s? I think I will go right into the Tier 1 honorable mentions. get some good music up in here. We'll play the main menu music. I like the main menu music. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna wait for the drop and we'll reveal the tier 1s. Alright. So tier 1 honorable mentions. We have, returning to the tier 1, we have Andypanther. New to the honorable mentions in tier 1, we have Etos, his first time being ranked, putting up some massive times. Definitely was a possible consideration to make it up into the top 10 in his first period. However, he is missing a few times comparatively to what most of the top 10 players have. We have Gilly Guide and Koiro Hoshi rounding out the tier 1 honorable mentions. And so I'm going to take this to make a bit of an announcement that for players like Gilly and Hoshi who have not been active for quite some time, it's been about 2 years for both, 2 or more years for both of these players since they have submitted a brand new PB time, and that has not gone unnoticed. And so for players who have, you know, about 2 years worth of not submitting a new time, those players are in danger of becoming inactive despite having a full time sheet. So just be aware. You can definitely just submit one time and be fine. As long as we want to see, obviously, recent activity, and we want to reward activity from players, recent activity. So let's go and run down some of these players' times. So we have some really great times by players like Andypanther. Andypanther has a 104.4, has many standard times across every single course and category. Very close on Sunset Bay. I know this was a time he really wanted to get, was the 105. Andypanther just short so far with a 106.024, but I know you can do it, Andy. Andypanther does have some benchmarks. He has a 19.893, I believe, on Sunset Bay 1 lap, a 21.993 benchmark lap on Marine Fortress, and holding a 27 for somewhere below 27.499 for the benchmark on Twilight City. Andypanther also has some great times in the PAL, as well, as he dabbles with those courses, holding what looks like some second places and one PAL world record at this moment. Andy, just a very solid timesheet overall. If just slowly strengthening it, it has a top 5 time on Glacier Coast Reverse, 122.255. So great stuff for Andypanther. A great overall timesheet. Now I'm gonna move and talk a little bit about our newest person, Etos, who has come in and has put in top 10 times all over the place. Sunny Beach, Sunset Bay, Drake Lake, Marine Fortress, Twilight City, and many of the 1 laps that he submitted are either top 5 or top 10. And almost every single time he has submitted is a benchmark. I don't have my whatever. Sorry, I don't have my alerts up. But Usamin, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the fishbowl. Hope you are having a great day. And Adam, what's going on? I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. So yeah, and Gilly Guide, a multitude of great times. Benchmark on, used to hold the benchmark on Marine Fortress Reverse with a 110 until that was moved in this last period, and we will get to that later on to see how benchmarks have been shaping up. And Koiro Hoshi also many benchmarks and top times, as well as both of these, as well as Andypanther, Gilly Guide, and Hoshi all being great RTA players. Yeah, Etos has gotten to an elite, like a near elite level, in just a matter of weeks from starting to play. There's the amount of people who have been rising up and getting great times is increasing, and it's really great to see. Alright. So that is our Tier 1s and Tier 2 honorable mentions. Congratulations to everyone who made it into their respective placements, and we're hoping to see tons of activity going forward. So next up, we're gonna move ourselves along into the top 10. I'm looking for a song. I do not see it on this list. Okay. Okay. So we're gonna just we're gonna give this song to this player. And so let's introduce ourselves to the top 10. Returning at the number 10 spot. Believe this moves him down. Believe this moves him down a spot, or keeps him right in the spot that he was before. We have the Androgyne, who is a great player. He is from Australia currently. So Androgyne lives across the world from many of the players in the US. But we have players from all over the world playing Wave Race 64 and putting up great times. We have Andypanther and Hoshi, who are both from Europe. Now we have Androgyne, who's from Australia, and I believe lives in Japan currently. So yeah, Androgyne has some incredible times across the board in the game of Wave Race, with times like 103.597 on Sunny Beach, 105.468 on Sunset Bay, getting very close on many of the benchmarks in reverse, like Twilight City Reverse 135.01, Sunny Beach Reverse 106.2, and many other really good times. However, Androgyne has some lacking times on some courses such as Port Blue, Twilight City Glacier Coast, courses that are a bit more difficult, and Androgyne just may not enjoy playing those courses quite as much, but has great times on all of the Days Phase courses with benchmarks on each and every one of them, and has many of the one-lap benchmarks on top of it. So congratulations to Androgyne returning on the top 10 list. And so now we're going to move on to the next player. I'm going to give this player this music, because the time that this player has on this course, which is Twilight City's music, is one of my favorite videos that we have. It's just one of his best courses overall. We're talking about one of our super moderators coming in here at number 9. We have Modal, and although Modal has not been actively playing, he has been very active in the community over the past couple of years, as he has become a super moderator, as he is one of our moderators, and just overall a great person in the community, very positive, and just an outstanding person. So just to cover off the bat, Modal has incredibly good RTA times across the board, holding a top 5 in reverse with a 13 minute 34 seconds, and in top 10s across the board in every other course. None of his times lower than 7th place. So Modal, a very good RTA player in his right. Now let's take a look at some of his ILs. We see Modal has numerous benchmarks across the board. He has Sunny Beach 103, Sunset Bay 105, Drake Lake 111, Southern Island 114. Many of the lap benchmarks as well. But the time that I love from Modal is his 124.855 on Twilight City. He grinded for that course so much. He has 8th place there. He has 7th place in the one lap. And he also still holds top 10 on Twilight City Reverse with a 135.9. I would love to see Modal come back and get some times. Obviously, Modal is active in both Wave Race 64 and also in Wave Race Blue Storm, the GameCube iteration from the series. So Modal, congratulations on all your great times that you've put up. hoping to see some activity, of course, more activity from you in the future. So let's move on to number 8. Number 8, what music for this player? I think this player has definitely earned this music. And I do not give this music out lightly. This player has come in. He's such a good player. There is a few things that will overall that have held this player back on ranks, unfortunately, but I will explain this once I reveal. Number 8 is MDK. MDK is a top player in this game. He came in earlier this year and has been tearing up everything he has played. However, his is so unfortunate that obviously he has a situation where he does not have a capture card yet. We are obvious, as things get worked out, one day we hope to see some really nice recordings from him, so he can really can submit these amazing times that he has. And he still has really great times as is. He has a 103 on Sunny Beach, 105 on Sunset Bay reverse 108 benchmark, Drake Lake 111, and Drake Lake reverse 111, also very close to the 1 lap benchmark of 22 on Drake Lake. He has almost the lap benchmark on Marine Fortress. He has Port Blue 118, Twilight City 124. And although he hasn't submitted, he has achieved a 134, and a very low 134 at that. And Southern Island 114. So, what I would like to see from MDK is anything he obviously is going to continue to submit. Really, hoping that we can get a capture card and a setup for you to be able to give a capture card quality video due to our requirements. But you're an amazing player, and you are easily capable of moving up this list very fast. Alright, so moving on, we have number 6. Number 6, there is no other music I could use for this player other than what is currently being played. Number 7 is a returning player who came back and destroyed Olympics. Every single week he submitted a time, I believe, and every single week he did extremely well. And I am talking about Illudude, the legend himself. We see our legends list. I bring up Illu. I will I'll use this to obviously talk about Illu's great accomplishments, but I will also talk about our other 2 legends. We have Jason Walls and Stefan Marla. Jason Walls, one of the pioneers of this game back in the early 2000s and in the 90s probably as well. It's very likely that he got one of the first ever 112s on Drake Lake, which was probably a 2-second untied at the time. And Walls was an incredible player. Stefan Marla, a pioneer of the PAL version of Wave Race 64, holding world records for many years, and some of them have fallen now, but some haven't. Marla was an incredible player. And then lastly, now we come to Illudude, the legend himself, the legend of not only this game but also of GoldenEye. He's such a storied player. He holds 2 world records right now. So why would Illu be ranked as low as 7? He holds the 110 on Drake Lake. He has a 22.866 1 lap on Drake Lake, holding 2 records, and holds top 4 on the many other courses. However, the fact that Illu is missing most of reverse and is also missing a 1 lap time, when we have most of the top 10 having full timesheets. Illu also has a notable time in a championship expert of a 13.05 as well as a 52.45 for 7th place in all championships and a 9.49 for 12th place. And all of these times were achieved in 2014. So these times all would have been top 3 when they were... I believe that all these times would have been about top 3, or top 5 at least, when they were recorded and submitted. But Ilu holding down great times on holding down the Sunny Beach benchmark, has 3rd place on 105 with a 105.157. 2nd place with he did get the first ever 19.6 lap on Sunset Bay. Of course, we all know his legendary 110.996 on Drake Lake. Twilight City, he got 124.297 and a 27.210 lap. And I believe if Ilu keeps playing, he will, in fact, achieve a 123 on Twilight City if he keeps playing. So Ilu, you are such a legend. Welcome back to the list. It's great to have you playing again, even just for a little while. All right, so with that we move on to number 6. I'm gonna give this music to our number 6 player, and number 6 is Asmoney. Now, Asmoney being at number 6 does move him down a spot. However, it is not because he is not an amazing player. It is because of some slight inactivity, but still holding great times across the board. Asmoney holds 6th place or better on every single RTA, so his RTA is not a problem at all. His best times being a 13:31 on reverse and a 9:27 on championship normal. Let's take a look at Asmoney's let's take a look at Asmoney's ILs. He holds the benchmarks on every single course that we would call Dave's faves. That is Sunny Beach, Sunset Bay, Drake Lake, and Southern Island, where we use David Mariner. He is 103. He is 103 Sunny Beach, 105 Sunset Bay, 111 Drake Lake, 114, and really good 114.613 on Southern Island. I believe Southern Island is one of his standout courses, as well as Marine Fortress. So I'll go ahead and give him a just to spread out the music as well. We'll give him a little bit of Marine Fortress music in here as well for that. So he has a 109.805 for 9th place. He's very close to the 21 lap with a 22.023. And on Marine Fortress Reverse, he has 4th place with a 110.5569. So Asmoney holding many of top 10 places. His reverse slate is all top 10 or better, with nothing worse than 8th place. When it comes to forward and laps, he's got a couple of times outside of the top 15, notably competitive courses. Like Drake Lake's a very competitive course, and so he has the benchmark. However, it's definitely doesn't quite place as high as other players. However, that just getting the 111 is great. I know he really worked at it, and so congratulations to Asmoney on being ranked in 6th place. And so we move on to number 5. I'm gonna pull up different music for this player. Let's start it again. So for number 5, we have MyOhMyPancakes. Pancakes coming in so hot in this last ranking period. He came back, dropped some amazing times. He has achieved benchmarks such as Sunny Beach Reverse 105. He's gotten Sunset Bay Reverse 108, Sunset Bay record, Sunset Bay 105, Drake Lake 111, Marine Fortress 108, Port Blue 118, Southern Island 114, many benchmarks across the board. And not to mention that Pancakes is also an incredibly strong RTA player, coming in with top 5s in every single category, with his best times being a 3rd place on all champs with a 51.53 and a 13.27 3rd place in sorry, I gotta restart the music. 3rd place on reverse with a 13.27. Pancakes is just an outstanding player. So yeah, Pancakes just came in and dropped so many great times. Also achieved 5th place on Port Blue Reverse with a 116. It was benchmark up until another player who we will talk about here in a little bit did move the benchmark. Glacier almost top 10 across the board in reverse, with a 112, 179 on Drake Lake Reverse. Pancakes falls just outside there, and I know that Pancakes will get that when he goes back for it. Otherwise, great times for Pancakes. What I would like to see is continued improvement on perhaps courses like Southern Island and Glacier Coast, and as well as going for the top 10 in Twilight City. But congratulations, Pancakes, on just incredible times across the board. So now we're gonna move into number 4, and my man came back this period and dropped some heavy stuff. We're talking about Metalhead. Also similarly to Pancakes, no problems in RTA at all. Top 5 across the board with 11-18 3rd place in hard, 9-26 3rd place solo, 3rd place in championship normals. And the big time Metalhead put up was 51-57 last month. 51-57 all championships, the 4th the 4th player on the leaderboards to get it, the 5th player overall to achieve it. And so Metalhead, let's take a look at some of his ILs. Gotta find Wave Race. There we Wave Race 64, that is. Metalhead has so many great ILs. He does not have many placements outside the top 10 as well. He has benchmarks on almost every single course on forward, with some very notable times. Port Blue 118 392, Twilight City 124 498, Port Blue 1 lap 25.088, and the big IL for Metalhead, Sunny Beach 103 304, 2nd place. Metalhead took out Metalhead either earlier this year or late last year, eclipsed Ryan Lockwood's 2nd place time on Sunny Beach, as well as he holds 4th place in the 1 lap with a 20.213. Metalhead overall having quite a lot of benchmarks, and just being a great player overall. The call between Metalhead and Pancakes was very close, but Metalhead just has a couple extra times that put him above Pancakes. But I think Metalhead needs to get going on a couple of these ILs and improve them, because I know Metalhead's coming for him. Because I know that Pancakes is coming for him. Yeah, Metalhead's coming for himself, of course, that's the case. But congratulations to Metalhead holding his spot in the top 4. No easy feat at all in this era of Wave Race 64. And so now we move into the top 3. Top 3 is absolutely stacked. So, returning to number 3, we have Game. Game returning at number 3. I am not sure if Game submitted. No, Game probably got a couple new times in the Olympics. A very amazing, solid timesheet across where Game actually did get a couple of times. He achieved 3rd place on Port Blue with a 1:18.307, which passes Metalhead. He submitted a 25.046 on Port Blue 1 lap, which passes myself for 2nd place. And we have the big one for Game, 1:14.993. Game moves the Port Blue reverse benchmark. That is massive. Now Port Blue reverse's benchmark is 1:15.999 or better. Game also holding every single benchmark in the game, to all 24 benchmarks, and he is perhaps not the most recent player, but he is he was the person who tied Shibbypod on many of these benchmarks. He tied Shibbypod at the 105 on Sunny Beach reverse. He tied Shibby on Glacier Coast reverse, Twilight City reverse, and a Marine Fortress reverse. I think Game was also one of the first players to get the 111 on Drake Lake reverse. He has the current world record there, as well as holding elite times throughout the boards. Game's RTA not quite telling as of his actual skill, and we do hope that we will see more RTA from Game and some great submissions on top of with those. We're just looking forward to whatever Game has for us in the next next rankings period. So congratulations to Game on his incredible timesheet that has made. Okay. And so next we have number 2. What music should I give to number 2? How about this one? Back to Marine Fortress. And number 2, we have given to myself, because this is obviously a panel. Number 2 has been given to myself, Dr. Fish. So I remain at number 2 from the last year plus of being in this spot. My timesheet across the board filled with great times. I just want to note a couple of my times. I currently hold 4 world records. I hold the world record on Sunny Beach or on Sunset Bay 1 lap. Or no, wow. Sunset Bay 3 lap with a 105.006. I hold the untied world record on Sunset Bay reverse of a 107.996. I hold the Port Blue reverse world record with a 115.039. And as Andy points out in the chat, I also am one of the fastest. I'm also one of the better DKR players out of the Wave Race 64 speedrunners. Andypanther, also a runner of that game. And I wouldn't necessarily say I'm any better than Andypanther is at that game. But back to Wave Race 64, I also hold finally the Twilight City reverse world record with a 134.289. I moved 2 benchmarks in this last period. The Glacier Coast reverse benchmark is now a 120 when I achieved a 120.8. And on Marine Fortress reverse, I finally broke through and got the 109.795, very close to the world record, but not quite there yet. I am also very close on Sunny Beach reverse. I am 2/100ths of a second from tying. The only 3 times I have that are outside of the top 3 are Sunny Beach 3-lap, Sunset Bay 1 lap, which is 4th place, and Drake Lake 1 lap, and all those times are so close and tight with other people around me. Besides Sunny Beach to get 3rd place there is going to be super tough, and it's the course that I'd say I struggle with the most. But overall, great ILs. And just to run through RTA for myself, and I believe my average placement for my average IL placement is under 3. It's 2 point something, and games is also I believe in the 3s, 3 point something. I don't have the numbers up in front of me currently, but just to run through, I hold 2nd place in Championship Normal, Championship Hard, Championship Expert, and all championships, and as well as holding the world record in Championship Reverse with a 13:07. I do hold a 51:42 in all championships, and in most of these other times I'm very close to the world record. So I'm very honored that the panel chose me to be in 2nd place still. And in this last period, or actually, I believe it was last period, I was selected to be the other super moderator of the community after Shibbypod decided to step down and just become he's continuing on as a moderator, but he has stepped back and has graciously picked me to become to be the super moderator for this community. And for that, I am so thankful. All right, and number one, who else could it be? We're gonna start this over again from the beginning. Number 1, the champion himself. Who else but Shibbypod? Shibbypod, an absolutely incredible player, an incredible ambassador of Wave Race 64. Shibbypod holds 19 IL world records. The only courses I will just so it's easier, I will name the courses where he does not have a world record, being Sunset Bay 3-lap and reverse, Drake Lake 3-lap, 1-lap and reverse, Port Blue reverse, and Twilight City reverse. Those are the only IL courses he does not hold world record. Shibbypod has not PB'd quite as much as he had liked. However, oh my gosh, he is still the undisputed champion, as Andy said, and no one's gonna take that from him. He might say that I am closer to 1st than I am to 3rd, and that might be true, but this is still Shibby's game. You guys can't see this, but I am circling this on my screen. 114.984 on Glacier Coast. Shibbypod PB'd once, but that PB was massive. It is on Glacier Coast, the 999, the famous Shibby Untied world record. Emote has been broken. What an incredible achievement by Shibbypod. He also PB'd on Glacier Coast reverse, getting a 120.323. So, just incredible work by Shibbypod. And it's just so awesome to get to watch him play whenever he has time and decides to stream some Wave Race. It's, yeah, like Andy said, the 114, if you're looking at a pantheon of the best world record times, Shibbypod holds most of them. Yeah, Marine Fortress 107.7, Port Blue 117.8, Twilight City 123.7, Glacier Coast 114.9. He holds so many untieds. He held so many untied world records. Twilight City, actually he holds less than, I think. Yeah, it's actually just Glacier Coast and Twilight City are his remaining 3-lap tied, 3-lap untieds. And he holds the untied world record on Port Blue 1 lap. I guess I technically would consider the 21.4 some bit of an untied. No one has achieved a lap better than, no one else has achieved a 21.4xx lap on Marine Fortress. He holds the untied Glacier Coast 23 lap and the untied Southern Island 22.9 lap, as well as holding the untied world record on Southern Island reverse with a 119.7. So just overall incredible work by Shibbypod. I will go through each of his IL times, starting with normal. Championship normal, 9 minutes and 21 seconds. That was achieved in 2017. So an incredible, and so it still holds as the world record to this day. Championship hard, 11:08, achieved in March of 2018. The championship expert, championship expert 12:56, achieved in December of 2017. And all of these times are now obviously moving on to almost 3 years of being the world record. Championship reverse, which was world record when he achieved it, but is now second place. March 10th, 2018. As well as what he might call his finest RTA performance, 51 minutes, 11 seconds in all championships, which is a staggering 31-second difference to second place, which he achieved in September of 2018. So, just incredible work by every single player on this list. So, I just want to say thank you for watching. Thank you for making Wave Race 64 so incredible. We can't, this list would not be possible with each and every person of the community and each and every person on the panel. So I want to thank Andypanther, MyOhMyPancakes, and Shibbypod for doing this panel with myself. And of course, Shibbypod is the person who put this ranking panel together. So congratulations to each and every player. And as always, I've been Dr. Fish, and thank